What's up, YouTube? Yoke here. I'm going to be going over a deck profile again. This one specifically is Gravekeeper's. I really like it. It's a nice trolley deck. This build that I made is definitely a grinder. At a couple different locals, I've gotten first, second, third at different locals with this deck. There's also been a couple times where game one my opponent decided to forfeit because of the fact that the first duel, because we were gonna run out of time if I didn't, and wouldn't have been able to get to any other games if they didn't, because we were gonna run out of time and I was ahead a couple thousand life points, and if we would have ran out of time, I would have won by default. So, going on to the main deck, just to start, with the monster counts, I run 3 copies of Commandant. This card is a great card because it's your only searcher for Necro Valley. The Necro Valley is the one card that's going to get you your attack power increase, and it stops your opponent from doing a lot of their combos, mainly because most decks now run solely on Graveyard. And then I run not one but 2 copies of Descendant. Its effect is that you can tribute other Gravekeepers on the field other than itself to destroy a target on your opponent's side of the field. And then I run 1 copy of Guard, mainly because sometimes you just can't get over something that your opponent's got on the field, and the only way that you can get rid of it is sending it back to the hand. And then I run 1 copy of Gravekeeper's Heretic. This card's nice because it's unaffected by every effect while Necro Valley is on the field. And then I run 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Nobleman. This is a good card. I like to use it to start all my combos. Like, I'd set this, and then my opponent would attack into it, and then its effect is I can special summon a Gravekeeper from my deck to my to face down defense position, and then I would go from Nobleman to Spy, and then special summon Spy and face down defense position, and then I would go from, when Spy is flipped, I would go from Spy to Recruiter, and then Recruiter to Nobleman to hand, and set Nobleman go to and so on and so forth. It's a nice grinding card, and if the situation calls for it, I can also get Shaman as well. Shaman is a really good defensive card for this deck, and I can also get the Visionary. Visionary is also a good card, a select target depending on your situation. And then I run 3 copies of Recruiter. This is your main searcher of the deck. You get to add 1 Gravekeeper monster with 1500 or less defense, or is it attack? Yeah, 1500 or less defense. So I guess I can't go into Spy with it. This card is good because it searches out virtually every single Gravekeeper monster in your deck that you could ever possibly want, except for Spy. And then, let's see here, the next card I run is a single copy of Shaman. This Gravekeeper monster, its defense is increased for every Gravekeeper monster you got in your graveyard, and it protects your field spell, which is really nice. So, and then when you got Necro Valley on the field, it's already a minimum of 2000 defense plus any Gravekeeper monster in the graveyard times 200 points. And then I run 3 copies of Gravekeeper Spy. This is where a lot of your special summoning would take place. It special summon stuff to the field from your graveyard when it flips. What did I say? Graveyard? I meant to say from special summons from your deck to the field when it's flipped, not graveyard. Sorry. And then I run 2 copies of Visionary. This card is a great card. I like it a lot. When you get it on the field, is with Necro Valley on the field, it's going to have 2,500 attack points, and then it gains 200 attack points for every Gravekeeper monster in the graveyard. So it's a huge beater, and being that its other effect is that you only have to tribute 1 Gravekeeper monster to summon this card to the field. I usually get it out with Nobleman, but that being said, it's a relatively easy card to get out, and it has huge attack points. That's it for my monsters, and then I'm going to go into the spells. I got to be quick because I want to keep this under 10 minutes, but I'm going to have 1 Book of Moon, and then not 1, but 2 copies of Steel, or Steely, for monster recycling. Hidden Temples of Necro Valley. This stops all special summoning other than Gravekeeper monsters, so it stops every other archetype from special summoning. And then 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, because Mystical Space Typhoon is necessary in this format. 3 copies of your field spell. This is, of course, really needed, as most of your combos are pulled off using it. 1 Regeki, 1 Bottomless. Those are kind of staples. Oh yeah, so moving in the traps, 1 Bottomless. And then 2 copies of Hidden Imperial Tombs of Necro Valley. 2 copies of Mirror Force. 1 copy of Rite of Spirit. 1 Safe Zone. You'll see why in a few minutes when I go to my extra deck. 1 Solemn Warning. 2 Traps done. And 2 Wiretaps. So that's it for my main deck. That's a total of 40 cards. Going from my main deck to my extra deck. Some staples. 1 Castel. 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. And then I run a copy of Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, because I've got 2 level 8s. There's been a few times where I have had multiple, both my Visionaries out on the field. Exciton, staple. Cowboy for those finishes. And then because I've got a bunch of level 3s in the deck, and there's been times where I've had level 3s on the field, I'll have Ghost Trick Alucard for face down removal. And then level 4 again, Volval Chain. Mequip Engineer for level 3 XYZ. Number 17, Giga Brilliant. And number 30, Acid Golem of Destruction. Number 49. Number 66 for another level 4. This is what I use for my level, sorry, I dropped a card. I use Safe Zone on him, and then he protects my field spell. And Safe Zoning him gives him a bit of a lock so that he can't be destroyed either by anything. And then you can't destroy the Safe Zone either. 101, and then Photon Papillopative. Yeah, so that's my Gravekeeper deck. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and all that awesome stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.